Here we go. Welcome to the newest episode of the Ballinesian podcast here on the Polytickin network. Someone's talking about sports, got a Charger and Raider fan. About to talk about some NFL topics, including Puka trying to retire by 30, Russell Wilson signing with the Giants, Cal's Polynesian Coaches Summit, and a couple of other things. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Lance. This is Coach Forrest. We're out here about to break down a couple of different things. How you doing?
Chilling. Always just chilling.
Bro, it's been hot up here in the Pacific Northwest, and we're about to get a storm. But
Look, I can't complain, man. I've been asking for sun and heat for the past 4 months, and I'm getting it. So I'm 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 like, yes.
It's that
Like, yeah,
fake spring. It's been
yeah,
clear, sunny. Back to the rain. Shout out to our sponsor, Livasa Island Apparel. Shout out to Brother Uriah. www.livassaislandapparel.com. Also on Instagram, check them out at LE_VASA, Le_Vasa. For the latest, check out the stories, follow everything that he's doing there on the page. Also, shout out to Marcus and Cepha, Polytickin podcast, super busy on the road, handling family stuff at weddings and stuff. There's going to be a lot to hear, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think they're recording another episode next week, but stay tuned to the Patreon. Definitely subscribe to the Patreon. Follow the YouTube, the Polytickin network, Apple, Spotify podcast. Definitely follow the streams and support. Appreciate you guys for that. All right. Well, Puka Nacua this week went on the Join the Lobby podcast and was talking about one of the clips that got pulled was that he wants to retire at the age of 30. He's 23 right now, so he's at like 7 more years, but he was saying he wants to retire by the age of 30 to avoid injuries and have time to spend with his family and to be able to do that healthily and with his full abilities. Smart, right? That's like
no.
that's the way to do it. Cash in, get out, not be greedy and staying too long.
Yeah. These young guys, man, just don't want to work, man. They don't want to put in the work. They should like get their money and go. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and we both saw the interview. He's inspired by Aaron Donald. You know what I mean? Aaron Donald doing what he needs to do, proved he was great, left an amazing legacy behind with the Rams, with the NFL.
I mean, was
And
Aaron Donald super young when he retired? Wasn't he like in his 30s? Like
I
it
mean,
was age
that's
wise.
for us, it's young. In the real world, that's young. For the NFL,
Sure, yeah.
that's a veteran. That's these guys come out of college. Well, it's not the NBA. Like guys come out of college like at
Mm-hmm.
18, 19, but the NFL they have to be in their true junior year in the classroom before they can
Of
consider
college.
of college before they can come out and enter the draft. So I mean they're old enough, 20, 21.
When he said that, like he compared it to like Aaron Donald. I was
Right.
like, I thought he was talking about at a young age. But obviously, Aaron Donald came in, was a force, proved himself to be like a great multiple, defensive player of the years, something that like an absolute game record. But that's what he was saying. He was like, he wants to go out on top and just leave after a championship or something.
If that's what he's planning, good luck. Not with that team, buddy. And here come the Rams fans. Um, hey, do what you got to do. If you're looking for a ship, I mean, good on you, man. But the league just every okay, maybe not every team got better because whatever team Aaron Rodgers is going to is not going to be better. But
Has not signed at the time of this recording still.
right, just I like the plan. I like the plan. Again, I don't think people think of Aaron Donald as being young when he got out, but when you get out, like for him, like a lot of like the quarterbacks we were just talking about, Aaron Rodgers, in his what is he, 40, 41? Is he that? How old is Aaron
41,
Rodgers?
42, Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's pretty old. Of course, he plays quarterback, so he's a little bit more protected. Doesn't go through the real wear and tear of like a lineman or a receiver coming across the middle every season.
Mhm.
You know, so they could probably play a little longer. But yeah, Aaron Donald, I think for me, that's a retiring young. And again, top of the game, he retired with. He's got a ship. He's got bags of money. He's got his health. Uh,
Signed big contracts, got
Signed big contract. Yeah.
the hardware.
The only other person that comes to mind that retired, like I think before everybody thought he should have retired. Well, two people. The original Barry Sanders leaving
Yeah,
before like he got any of the records before a championship, but he got out. He's healthy. You don't hear him having like uh
that
lingering
yeah.
injury problems, anything like that. CTE.
Mhm.
And then Patrick Willis, the same thing. He left. He was the best linebacker in the league when he left. Still in his prime, I think. Like he could have played probably like at least three more seasons, like at a high level. He could have been the best linebacker in the league for at least three more seasons, and then still been one of the best guys in the league after that for a couple more seasons. But he got out, healthy, invested his money in a lot of things. Um, just was smart with his money. That's another thing for guys that retire early. They want
Oh,
to be
Andrew
smart with
Luck.
their money. Andrew Luck, I think he retired because of injury problems. Like he didn't want them to linger. Like these other guys, they were pretty healthy when they were retired. Like Aaron Donald,
Well,
no heavy injuries. Patrick Willis, same thing. Barry Sanders, but with Andrew Luck, I think he was injured and then just more worried about
it being
the
long term.
yeah, being long term and like yeah, and I think his injuries were a little bit more like severe than other
Well,
people's.
that was something that in this interview that Puka mentioned and talking
Right,
about wanting to retire by the age of 30 is because he wants to spend that time with his future family, uh, and to be able to do that without being hurt or without being injured. And he talked about the season, the game itself, right? It's collision sport. You're inviting injury every time the ball is snapped. Someone's going up against each other. So the longer you play football, the more likely it is. I love the percentages, right? Playing percentages, right? If I play this game a lot longer than I need to after I get a comfortable amount of money, then it's just inviting injury and not being able to, go and freaking play basketball with my kids or volleyball
right,
or go
right.
out to camping and stuff like that. So shout out to him. I hearing us explain it right now, I don't think he's going to be able to do it though. I don't think he's going to retire at 30 unless it's like due to injury or something like that. If he's because you talked about those other guys, they went out on top and it was crazy. I think, and he's already proven himself in the first 2 years as a wide receiver there for the Rams in Sean McVay's system that he's really good. And he's only going to get better. Like he's getting physically stronger. He's going to get more experience. He's going to like know certain matchups even more than he already has been, and he's been dominating. So it's going to be like Larry Fitzgerald at the top of his game. Like, would he be able to walk away? Larry Fitzgerald played for a long time, right? Like, but that's
Yeah,
like
but
that
I think
level of dominance. I mean,
right,
to
right,
be at
right,
like the Larry Fitzgerald level of dominance and be like, all right, guys, I said I was leaving at midnight. Okay, so I'm taking my keys. I'm going home. Right? Oh, club doesn't close until 2, 3 o'clock. You can stay out a little bit longer. You can make a little bit more money. I don't know. He's gonna get his extensions in the next year or two. He's gonna get his first big extension. He was a fifth round pick. His first contract was like 4 years, $4 million. Like once he gets more money, I think like most of us, you get more money, you spend more money.
true.
So
That's
hopefully he puts
that
it in
is
some
true.
assets that like, and that I know that like he comes from a big family too, so like they have a lot of um like group assets,
Miles to feed.
houses. Well, okay, yeah, there you go. Also, yeah. So I mean, coming together like that, he's gonna have a lot of money to be able to settle down. But I wonder if maybe he starts some other businesses and stuff, and they have like costs and like we need oh come on man, you just got to get one more contract. You'll play until you're 32, but it'll set us up for life. Something like that. Like that'll be the last big caper or something like that. But he plays so tough that I worry that he's gonna get injured. Like the way he's not afraid of contact, the way he's like so fast, so quickly into guys that are tackling. So I don't know. Uh, do you think he's gonna retire by 30 before 31?
I don't think he's 31. I think he's retired around that age. But also he depending on whether or not his new teammate's gonna be a douche and not like mentor him. But having Devontae Adams there could add a few more years to his career because Devontae's, he's playing a little bit deeper into his 30s, so he might be able to show Puka how to stay healthy because Devontae's never had like a
Mm-hmm.
serious injury. So he could probably mentor Puka and how to stay healthy.
You saying the
You know,
games that he missed this year for the Raiders was not because of a serious injury?
yeah, of his ego. But physically, no.
I want to
Physically,
go play
no.
with my friend.
Right. Let me go. Come on, mom. And
Devontae
then what
Adams come on the
happened?
show.
Right. Oh, please, Devontae, come here so I can shove some Taco Bell in your face. But no, yeah. So like that factor, that's gonna have to factor in um what he learns from Devontae, you know, and that could also elevate him to the level of play that he wants to get to. As he said, he wants to finish on top. Also, his perspective of what that means to him, finishing on top, because on top is a lot. Like you got a lot of people ahead of you. Devontae Adams is ahead of you. He's still playing. I would career wise, not talent wise at the time right now, but career wise. Devontae, you got geez, I was just thinking about him. What's my man that just signed with the Patriots?
Stephon Diggs.
Diggs, his career wise, a little bit ahead of Puka right now because Puka's just starting to like
Wait,
really
you're talking
put
about
up
like
numbers.
legacy ladder?
Right, like on top, like because he wants to finish on
Yeah.
top.
I don't
So
think. Oh, he said what did he say?
he said he want to finish on top. So that's what I said, perspective wise, like what does that mean to him? Like would he consider like finishing on top? Like,
Leaving after a championship.
well, that'd be cool. But I mean, if he wants like numbers wise, there's still a lot of people ahead of him, career wise. Like shit, just to get to sorry, excuse me, just to get to like Fitzgerald, like we just talked about, and it might have been like small numbers he put up, but he was still putting up numbers
Mm.
after his like prime. He was still good enough to put up numbers. So all perspective on how he thinks if by like 30, 31, he feels like he did what he needed to do to finish on top, then perfect. The championship, man, depending on what their front office is going to do to like,
Make that possible.
yeah, like, look, I love Stafford, and I would
Facilitate
have
that.
loved, I would have loved to have Stafford on the Raiders, no doubt. I mean, but I don't think he's the guy that's going to get him to another championship. I know him and Puka are probably going to put up really nice numbers. That'd be fun
Mm.
because they're comfortable with each other. But I don't think he's the guy that's going to take them into another Super Bowl and win it for them. So
That's the crappy thing about wide receiver though is like if Matt Stafford gets hurt, then your season's
right,
ceiling
depends
it
on
goes way down. The floor
yeah,
your ceiling goes way down. Um, but hopefully that the Rams are definitely in a weird rebuild win now mode, right?
right,
Because they've
right,
like there are certain parts, but their defense they say is a lot better, a lot quicker than they expected. So it warrants them being kind of like, oh, we can keep Matt Stafford, we can like get this done this year, maybe next year or the year after, something like that. So, but it's got to
yeah,
happen now. We got the weapons to make that possible.
for sure. But Puka, yeah, like I said, I think a lot of it also is going to really matter on like what's going on with his family at the time, but also what he's gonna like. I think Devontae is gonna be a really big factor in like how he stays healthy physically in the league and just learning the little stuff from Devontae
I
on
think
how
he
to
needs to
like
learn from freaking future Raider Tyler Lockett and slide, bro. It's not worth the extra 2 or 3 yards. Slide
it.
every time. You'll
It is.
be
He's a bigger receiver too, like you say. Like when you're moving that fast with that weight and you're that athletic. Um, Bo Jackson. People don't realize that when Bo Jackson got hurt, his hip. It's not because he was hit hard. It's because he was moving so fast at such a his body wasn't meant to move that fast with that much weight. he was like super athletic, and his body just couldn't take his
The
athleticism.
human ligament are
Exact,
not
right,
built for this sort of torque at
right,
this speed, at this weight, at this
exactly. I
strength.
mean, you could say he was like at the least 220 running in and people won't believe it, but it's been recorded somewhere that he ran within like the low 4.2s, and for him running like that, just a little hit could put something out of place. My point
Xavier
being is,
Worthy's speed in Derrick Henry's body.
oh, see, yeah, exactly, exactly. That's scary. And Puka might not be that fast, but for a grown man that size to move and twitch like that,
Mhm.
especially at his position, yeah. I mean, he's
I don't know
uh,
why he's still surprising people with his strength, but defenders all the time he's knocking them, bowling them over, and they're like,
no,
"Oh
yeah,
shit, I didn't know that
yeah.
you were like that. You
Uh,
didn't know this guy plays like that? Do you not watch the tape?"
that's what I'm saying. So
Another thing that he mentioned in the interview was that he wants to enjoy that time with his family, right, healthily,
right,
and he
right.
wants at least he wants a starting 5 worth of kids,
And he said at least. So I mean, he's
and that
thinking like a big family.
yeah. So and he comes from a big family. I think he's one of 5 or 6, right?
See, and
So a family like that, you're gonna have that ideal to
he's got
be similar.
the double whammy. He's a Polynesian and part of the Church of Latter-day Saints. So I mean, both
Oh,
promote both
it's
promote big
the Punnett
families.
Square
Right,
is
right.
big family,
So
big family.
yeah,
Uh, he also mentioned he wanted 5, at least 5 boys, and I was like, damn. So you're gonna keep going until you get
well,
uh,
because you know
5
what,
boys?
God heard
You're gonna
that.
end up with like 19 children.
God heard that and said, okay,
Oh yeah,
your first 5
X
girls."
chromosome, X chromosome, X
Right.
chromosome. Uh, yeah, that's and it's on the yeah, it's on yeah. I was
Right.
like,
He
bro,
should have said linemen.
you're
I
gonna
mean,
have so many daughters.
right. He should have named positions because maybe God would have been okay. I'll give you a couple linemen and receiver, but now he's gonna have a starting 5 for sure.
Mhm.
A point guard, a shooting guard. You know what I mean? I think his sister does play ball, or somebody in his family plays ball. So yeah,
They look like a clan full of athletes.
for sure,
Uh, big families versus small families.
man.
Uh, like what's the difference? Like I don't know, man. Nora might be an only child, right? But what's the difference between like having a big family and not having any siblings?
So biologically, it's just me and my older sister missing. But um, as many of us know in the Samoan family, it's never just you and your sibling or you and your siblings. You're also you have cousins that turn into siblings,
Mm-hmm.
or just like you're so all of a sudden you got 2 more kids at the house that your parents didn't make, and now you have 3, and then you bring home friends who ultimately never leave your house, and that's just the inner workings of a Polynesian family. So we're growing up. There was a ton of my first cousins who were girls. They stayed with us. A lot of the times I was the only boy in the house. Not a lot of girls. And then which would they would bring their friends, and then I would always have like my cousins come over, or I would go stay with my cousins who were boys. But always big families. But you always have to share everything. You have to be okay with sharing things. You can't be like, no, that's mine. That's my food. No, I cooked that. No, not gonna
This
work.
is ours.
Right, not gonna work. Not gonna work, man. And then like especially if you're cousins and you're like coming in, like you're gonna come spend like extra time with us, and you bring your clothes and your shoes, bruh. Hey, let me borrow that real quick. Hey, we're going to a party. Can I wear you this? Can I wear that? Sure, let me use yours. So you got to get used to stuff like that. Of course, it helps at chore time. So the more
Nice.
people,
Yeah.
the more chores get spread around.
Start doing outside chores. Pick up this
Right,
picnic table. We're gonna move
right.
it over here.
Exactly, exactly. I'm older. I mean, you're older too. So, like going out back then, I mean, if your parents didn't have too much money, it wasn't too bad. You knew that you couldn't go certain places, but like nowadays, everything's so expensive. Like you could go to
Oh
you,
yeah.
people in California when I was growing up usually was like they sit around and be like, "Hey, why don't we just go hang out at Disneyland for the weekend?" it was that not cheap but affordable. You could
Oh,
really
right,
pick up
right.
like something on the weekend and just you could just go hang out at Disneyland on the weekend. Like not every day, of course, or not every week, but like you pick a weekend and you go. You could go multiple times during the year. Now it's like you have to plan it years ahead of time before you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, a vacation for three, if you wanted to stay in the hotel, and of course you're gonna get an all-day pass, but you want to see everything, there's no way you're gonna see everything one day. So you're gonna do
What?
multiple days. It's like a $5,000 vacation. Imagine
Yeah.
that with a big family. So like you, Nora, and Sammy, that's not too bad. Like you guys can plan it out, save the money, and you guys can go and have a good time. I mean, you're gonna come back and work a lot, but hey, it'll be worth it. But imagine if you had to lug around Nora, four of her siblings, you know, you and
Yeah, like a
Sammy,
6-person family plus
bro.
extended.
That's just getting in to make McDonald's. See, that's
Yeah,
how
yeah, it's a
that's
lot,
that's how
but
cheap I am now because if you have siblings, you're like, hey, we're not going to Disneyland, we're going
it's
to
like
McDonald's.
you get an ice cream. It's not just a bigger bill, but it's like more people helping out though. So that means
Yeah,
more connections. More. It does feel like it.
definitely. But
More
like
hands
Nora,
makes a lighter load.
Nora, she's gonna get more attention, probably more attention than she wants when she gets older, of course. Um, she's gonna get she's gonna get the full run of everything. Like when you guys go out, she won't have to get the smaller one. You know what I mean? Because there's so many of them, or like there's more than one of her. So she can get the good toy, or she can get the full bowl of ice cream. You know what I mean? She can get a certain. You want pancakes? Full stack, and another full stack, and another full stack. The bad thing about that is like you know Nora's gonna be super mature because anytime we come around and then Sammy's people, like her family comes around or her friends, and we all mix together and it's just Nora's gonna pick up on all of us. And by the time she's 12, she's gonna be super, super like mature. And not too mature where she's not gonna be a kid, but she's gonna know a lot of things that other kids won't know. And like we were at a
I gotta.
top.
We'll get her some siblings. It'll be. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want her to be like the only child and like everything's
no, for
separate. So,
sure.
but
But
no,
like
yeah, no, that's fine.
she's gonna appreciate a lot. Like when she does, because you and Sammy really teach her really good manners. And, like when she was with us at Top Golf, she just wanted to hang out with us. Like she wanted to spend time,
That's the
you know,
thing. She
and
doesn't
she wanted
have
to share. She wanted
cousins
to
and
share
stuff
everything.
every day. So she has
Right,
she wants to be friends with
right.
everybody she sees. And I'm like, you can't be stop. She goes and she's hella social.
The bad thing about that
Uh
is after a while it gets tiring because she's not used to having them there all the time. Then it's like, send them home. Ah, it's cool. Send them home. We're good.
the one that does like the attention is Aaron Rodgers. Uh
He must be an only child.
so Russell Wilson, the former Seahawks, Broncos, Steelers quarterback, is signing with the New York Giants on a 1-year deal for $10 million. RIP Mr. Unlimited. That's $10 million. First of all,
Bro,
that was the first thing that jumped out. I think it's up to 21 million if like certain
with
incentives are
incentives.
happening. But that's kind of what I didn't expect it to go down that low for Russell's like signing, like the amount that he was going to sign for. But yeah, $10 million guaranteed, up to $21 million. It helps. Well, I mean, the Giants also signed Jameis Winston for $4 million,
Who's
which I
probably
thought was like nice.
right. I
Run
thought,
it.
but Jameis was probably at home like, no, 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 no. This can't be happening. What the
Yeah,
hell?
the day after or something, like a few days after Jameis
Right.
Winston signed, we were like, okay, does this mean the Giants don't have to take a quarterback? And then now that they take Russell Wilson, it's like, oh, the Giants are not taking a
They're
quarterback.
definitely.
They
I think
think that they think they won't get one of the top two
right
quarterbacks at
at
pick
three.
number
That's
3.
that's crazy because I don't think Shador. I don't know if he goes one or two. I think he's a high draft pick. I don't think he goes one or two. But
Mhm.
um, I think if they stayed with Jameis, I think they still looked for quarterback in the draft. If they had the chance to
Shedeur,
take, yeah, I think if
yeah,
they had the chance to get Shadur, they would have still taken him. But of course now with Russell Wilson, I mean, you have to get other weapons now because you have two quarterbacks who could potentially start. Both could potentially start. Now, me and you are probably off on how much money, or you were surprised that Russell got that low. I was surprised that he even got that much money because based off of his past success, fine. Because everybody like when you see the headlines, 10-time Pro Bowl, it's like how long ago was that? Like, I don't know. If it's a 1 year deal, I don't know if I'm giving him 10 mil, honestly. Uh, and then you have the other fool asking for 30 mil, a 30 mil deal. He's holding everybody up.
wait, sorry, Russell Wilson making $10 million is less than Daniel Jones, less than Justin Fields, and just more than Bryce Young, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May. The first round picks are making $9 million.
See, and that's the cap. That does that. I still like a lot of these guys probably shouldn't even be making like how do you justify paying some of these guys who don't even play? Like I know I get it. A good backup is like insurance, like especially if you have a really good team and you make it to the Super Bowl and you want to have somebody, you know what I mean, to carry your team to the rest of the way. But I don't know, man. Ooh, man, that's a lot
Travis
of money you
Hunter,
can put somewhere.
if you're not taking a quarterback, the first two picks are quarterbacks.
I like Abdul Carter, and I
Abdul
think
Carter, Penn State.
I think Travis Hunter is the best player in the draft, talent wise.
Hmm.
I think Abdul Carter plays prime position right now at rush end. Um, and you see how they changed the game for a lot of teams. Like, uh,
Edge rusher.
yeah, as an edge rusher, like
Hmm.
they, oh man, yeah, they really changed the game for a lot of teams. Like, they're the most athletic people on the field, I believe. Uh, especially
There's
if
some rookie edge rushers that help flip their teams, like
Jared from the Rams,
Jared Verse.
Jared Verse. He was able to come in, and he's one of those reasons that they're talking about their defense being strong enough to like, uh,
Advancing.
yeah, Jared Verse.
I think in Jalen Carter, but not as a rookie.
No, some of these, I mean, some of these guys can't really come in right away, but again, it might be a little bit biased of me, but I mean, then you find guys like Max Crosby, who was picked later into the draft, who
Mm-hmm.
teams probably are now like, man, maybe we should have picked him early. He could have gone early, and you saw him the way he came in and just yeah, really changed the way the Raiders were, like attitude wise, just the organization. He was really good for the organization. I mean, they're not like winning
Because of
like
him, right?
right,
Like he's
but
tried to
like
do, he's done really great, but
right,
it
right,
hasn't led to
right.
franchise altering.
But I think
Uh,
a lot of teams are gonna like you can really um build your team around guys like Abdul Carter. I think.
the other quarterback opening right now is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are also, kind of in the running for bringing back Russell Wilson, but that's looked less and less. And now we hear that Russell Wilson is signing in New York. Uh, they had a visit by Aaron Rodgers. By some accounts, it was very positive. And also reportedly, they have the contract framework already laid out. Are there any other possibilities if it doesn't work out with Aaron Rodgers? The Steelers could go trading up from the 21st pick. That doesn't seem real likely. Sticking with Mason Rudolph, that doesn't seem likely. And after the first couple of weeks of free agency, a lot of those uh, quarterback availability has pretty much dried up. What do you think they would do if not Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, they could possibly turn the 21st pick and a future pick into trading for another starting quarterback in the league. Um, They could also go, yeah. If they pair like the 21st pick and maybe uh it'll be enticing for a lot of teams because knowing that Pittsburgh probably isn't the team that they want to be right now, they might get a high pick next year. It might be intriguing enough for a team to take a chance on it and be like,
taking
well,
multiple firsts.
right. They're probably maybe next year, if we take their first round next year, maybe it's a high pick. So they could do that. But they could also at 21, I think that's just a sweet spot for teams to take a chance on like maybe Jackson Dart in the first round.
That next wave of
Right,
quarterback. Yeah.
right. Will Howard is another guy. I know a lot of people are not too big on like Will Howard. But he did lead Ohio State to a championship.
That's college. Totally different game.
It is college. He does have the skills though. He does have the skills. If you're willing to wait, and somebody who's like uber talented and probably has the same skill set and a guy that you wanted to re-sign but couldn't, you could take a flyer on Jalen Milroe and take him at 21 and kind of build the offense as a running offense again, like they did around Justin Fields. Because I mean, Milroe running a 4.3 and some of the things that they did at Alabama, might entice you to reach a little bit. But I think if you're going to stay in the draft and you draft a quarterback, Jackson Dart would be the guy that you take a flyer on at 21. Other than that, you ride with Mason Rudolph and hope that Arch Manning comes out next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also got, so it's likely that Aaron Rodgers is going to take over then, right? Because it doesn't sound like, I mean, unless they take that next wave of quarterback at 21, right, they're going to have nobody throwing to DK and George Pickens.
And I think the only other team in the running or possibly still waiting for Aaron Rodgers, even though they said they aren't, is Minnesota. I don't see him in Minnesota though, but I think that's probably the only other team that might be waiting to see what he does and probably has a contract in place also already for him. But I think all the other teams in the league are kind of just like, nah, we're good.
Yeah. This is probably the last time we have to worry about Aaron Rodgers.
Please, God, let it be.
So he's kind of, there are people talking about, oh, he's just, milking this for his last spotlight. Tennessee Titans with the first overall pick, probably going to take Cam Ward. Cleveland at 2 has been getting that flack from Shadura's dad, Deion Sanders, saying, oh, I don't want him to go there. I don't know if he's trying to force a trade or anything.
I mean, he also came out today and said it's not true that he's talking that mess. But
Deion Sanders has recently said, sorry, this is scrolling in a post
that
he wants New York. He wants the Giants at 3. So I don't know. There is that kind of difficulty where you got to deal with the dad who's going to make things best for his kid. But yeah, we'll see. We'll keep that. It's the carousel, so things go around. One domino affects the next. The Steelers kind of on the clock here. Probably going to sign Aaron Rodgers. And freaking shoot up the sidelines. DK, George Pickens, just go. Okay, that's the NFL. But okay, so I wanted to update you on what's going on the road to WrestleMania, because damn it, I've been watching both shows. But they've been in Europe. These European crowds are kicking these.
I bet
they are all the way up. They're turned up to a 10. They got their chants down, and definitely surprising all the wrestlers. The wrestlers come out and they're like, you can tell that it's way different from their usual work environment, and they're eating it up. They love it. They run the intros long. They're taking all all the adoration, all the stuff. And these European crowds who don't get to see the WWE, SmackDown, Raw superstars every year are selling out these arenas. Well, maybe not selling out, but packing these arenas and showing their love is crazy. All right, so the Royal Rumble, right? Main event: Jey Uso, former tag team. You know the Usos, right? Where are you like in your following of it?
I know they're back to being Usos. You know what I mean? I know they're back to being Usos, and they're both trying to find their way to WrestleMania, and not just as a tag team group, but as individuals too. So
Jay, main event, Jey Uso broke off from the bloodline and has been freaking yeeting his way all across America and the hearts of freaking people that are paying attention, that watch, that are fans of WWE. The crowds freaking love it. It's insane. But Big Brother, Big Jimmy Uso is like, I want to say better on the mic, kind of like more like
a little bit more charismatic.
Yeah. So it's crazy because now that they're back, Jay is fighting with A-Town Down Under, who is a tag team, and freaking he needs a tag team partner for this match that he's going to fight these two guys for. And in Glasgow, Scotland, Jay's music hits and he walks out and his brother follows him out through the arena, right? And they're walking down to the ring. Everyone's going crazy. Oh, snap, the Usos are back. This is the first time they've fought together for like over a year and a half. And you know, it's good to see them together. They're working like they've been Hall of Fame tag team champions in the ring together for years and years and years. And it was dope to see them kind of win that match and, you know, hit all those spots, all that. After Jey Uso, who has won the Royal Rumble and the right to challenge for a world championship match at WrestleMania, which is like a month away. His opponent comes out and he starts beating up the Usos. Jay flips it on him, gives him a super kick, has a chance to like spear him, slips right as he's like running towards him. And Gunther's can escape. He's laughing about it. They turn it into a promo after, right? They come back from break. Jey Uso's like sitting in the stairwell and he's like pissed off at himself. He's like, man, I'm messing up. Jimmy comes down. He was like, you're not going to be able to win your WrestleMania match. You're going to lose if this is what you're doing. You're all up in your head. We need the Royal Rumble winning main event Jey Uso back. He's giving him a pep talk, whatever. And then Jimmy storms off and he goes and meets Gunther. And he's like, hey, you know, you're fighting my brother, but I'm really going to show you what it's about. Next week, me versus you, right? And Gunther's like laughing at him. He's like, yes, I accept your challenge. Just make sure you don't slip like your brother did. And Jey Uso sends the smackiest slap I have ever seen, right? Slaps Gunther across the face. And then walks off. So we got that. That's coming up next week. Here's the thing.
That's a good cliffhanger.
That's crazy, right? Because it's like, oh, so that's kind of Jimmy Uso comes back and he's back into this kind of into the fold. But truth be told, it's been getting kind of panned, this like rivalry between Jey and Gunther. It felt like one-sided, David versus Goliath, the people versus the champion, whatever like that. So it sparks some more like tension and buildup. I think that's why Jimmy is coming back, right? Jimmy's back in it. He's like, hey, us together, and I'm gonna go and I'm your big brother. I'm gonna go and fight your opponent. Does this like make it more interesting for you if Jimmy Uso's back?
It does. Hey man, and I'm a graduate of the WWE times, you know what I mean? So like some of those stories were like super elaborate. Like, I mean, that sounds tame to like some of the storylines that I had grown up with. And even like when oh man, someone I don't know if any of the other like the past WWE storylines would make TV now because they were so like out there, you know. But this one sounds pretty good. I mean, it brings the Usos back together where everybody wanted to see. You know what I mean? And then it gives, like you said, something new to where Jimmy can now go and maybe Jimmy beats Gunther. You know what I mean? So
no,
you don't think so?
No. Well, I mean, Jimmy is getting his own singles push, right? He was like, I got to come and challenge LA Knight for the US tag title. Well, this is the other thing though. These two be botching their like freaking Mike time. Jimmy's got better charisma. Absolutely.
For sure. For sure.
But like he went up to LA Knight and he was like, I came to challenge you for your US. My road to WrestleMania means I have to challenge you for your US tag team titles. The LA Knight was like, what? And he got clowned a little bit. Damian Priest posted something like, he was like, tag champion. He did a handshake, bro. That was funny. But I think I think Jimmy's being introduced as like a surrogate for Jay's sympathy. To like, I think Jimmy's gonna get the crap kicked out of him this week.
So look,
to like make people be like, oh no, Jay's got a revenge arc now,
right?
And like more into it now. It's like it's not just it's personal now, bro. Yeah. You hospitalized my brother. Everybody loves Big Jim, but now I gotta fight for Jimmy. Do it for
Jimmy. It's the only way for Jay to turn Super Saiyan. Is if his brother gets hurt.
Oh yeah. Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think they're trying to make it personal. It's family like so. Or is that a way to bring the bloodline into this? No, but he's supposed to be like, I broke off to like do it by myself. So I don't think he's gonna get help from anybody, from like Roman Reigns or anybody like that.
What did Vin Diesel say? Family.
I am Groot.
But I mean, it kind of just brings everything back to where probably a lot of WWE fans want, as those two together again, fighting together, and all of those guys back together as a family, maybe, and maybe another storyline with like, them being like, I'm pretty sure they're cool with Roman Reigns now again, but yeah, I think it just ties a lot of things that they want to bring back together right now. And
I'll give you the update on Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk's triple threat match at WrestleMania next week.
Oh, see. I mean, you know what? I might have to watch it anyway.
Whose wise man is this? Yeah, so I've been watching way too much wrestling. Sammy's like, we're recording? Sammy, we're trying to find something to watch, and it's like SmackDown, Raw recently recorded. She's like, we're recording these now? And I was like, yeah. She's like, we're watching a lot of this. This isn't just like I was like, no, the bloodline.
It's for the show. I need content for the show.
I said it's for the culture. I was like, oh, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, the Usos, Tama Loa.
Like, look, that used to be.
No, you know Naomi, right? You know Naomi, though, right?
That's my cousin.
Trend. Oh man, Naomi versus Jade Cargill. Oh, they are definitely the writing, the everything connecting, all the storylines. It is the road to WrestleMania.
It's cool to see a lot of young politicians getting into that too, like just being like, coming up in the ranks and then like now being part of like the bigger WWE shows. A lot of people don't know that like WWE is pretty big and they have like little break off like wrestling leagues that some of these guys have to wrestle at first before they come up. So it's like minor league almost. So it's pretty cool to see like
they got tiers now.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like
NXT, there's a freaking partnership with TNA. There's
and you got to go through all that
shows and stuff. They have totally revamped the entertainment style of WWE and probably professional wrestling also, since it's like 60% of it. It's more like a sports, like a live sports
like an
event.
actual sports league, right? Yeah. So I think that's what they wanted.
Filming people walking into the stadium. This is the champ. They're here tonight to defend their title versus Braun Breaker. He's walking in, yeah, they got freaking stats. Randy Orton walks out, a panel comes by, 14-time world champion, 1-time 4-time tag champion, Royal Rumble winner 2022, 24, 20. Yeah, so I don't know. It's working. It's working on me.
I mean, I will say I do miss like the strippers that Ed McMahon used to bring out and like they strip in the ring.
Ed McMahon?
I mean, you know what I mean. Not Ed.
The Ed McMahon show?
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool to have.
Showing our age.
You're exactly. But to have Vince McMahon out there, like those days were wild because you didn't know what to
That
expect.
was
Like,
specifically sex sells. That
so
was
yeah,
what they were trying to
there
do.
was
They
a
were like,
lot of it too. There
eyes,
was
we
a
need
lot of it too.
eyes,
Yeah,
bring people in. That
but
attitude era.
the storylines were crazy because I mean, yeah. Anyway, but this. I mean, I think like you said, you hit it right on the nail. I think Jimmy's about to get his ass whooped, and Jay's gonna have to be like, you know
Yeah.
what? No one can whoop my brother except for me. So
Yeah. Jimmy versus Jey at WrestleMania. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, so that's where we're at with that. Just want to let you guys know.
exciting,
We'll be
guys.
following that. We haven't heard from The Rock in about a month now since
I feel
John
like he's
Cena
shooting
turned
a
into
movie.
the
I feel
yeah,
like he's
yeah,
shooting
yeah,
a
yeah.
movie.
John Cena's shooting a movie too, but like um yeah, John Cena is now The Rock's like the final boss's puppet champion
The
attacker.
Rock's bitch.
But recently, John Cena was like, in the last Raw, he was saying, I'm going to win the championship and then I'm taking it with me into retirement. And
I want to see
basically,
how that storyline goes because I feel like it's gonna turn
that
to
one's
a
kind of getting boring.
yeah. I mean, that's probably why they're taking a break too. But I think like everybody was so John Cena turned heel. No, he would never turn heel. I think it's gonna flip somehow.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Somehow, The Rock, I think The Rock is going to be the ultimate bad guy and screw over Cody Rhodes, or no,
Yeah,
screw over John Cena. Or he's
yeah,
like, John Cena, you couldn't get the job done. Now he's beating the shit out of John Cena. And then
something like that.
John
Yeah,
Cena kind of gets that flip back into like a good guy baby face
yeah.
somehow. Like, oh, he's the
He
underdog
can't
now. We gotta
retire. He
help
can't
him.
retire a bad guy. There's no way.
Good point. All right. Anything else we were gonna talk about?
Man, we got the tournament March Madness going on for both men and women. It was a sad day. We
Oh
saw
man.
Juju Watkins tear an ACL, and so
Mhm.
she's out of the tournament. She's gonna be out of playing for a little bit, but it's not like back in the day where you used to get these kind of injuries and pretty much your career was done. But due to the advancements in medicine and a lot of the training that they do now, the rehab stuff they got going on, um, it's a pretty good prognosis for Juju coming
Good.
back and still being dominant as she was before the injury. I mean, if there's one instance we can look at, Paige Beckers, she came back and she's still killing. You know what I mean? Uh, Diana Taurasi, I think she went down with an Achilles before. Just a lot of people. I know Tahini Paopao. She's also she got injured her senior year of high school, something like that. She's killing at South Carolina. So there's a lot there's a lot of people you can look at who had the same or close to the same injury and were able to come back and still be great, or maybe even better in the case of Paige Becker. So, but shout out to, or not shout out, prayers more to Juju Watkins. Just, I mean, yeah, tough to see because I think she's probably the
Didn't you
best.
just wear a USC Juju Watkins shirt?
I am a fan. I am a fan. So yeah,
Do you
we
think
had
that's
that
what
going on.
caused it?
Wow, did you just say that I caused you? Wow.
Those butterfly
Uh,
effect thing? Oh no.
there you go.
Uh North Carolina still in the tournament?
No, they're out too. They lost. They won their first game. There was a whole bunch of commotion about them getting into the tournament in the first place, and people were, oh, they didn't belong. Won their first game by like 500 points or something. Then they went against Mississippi State. Ole Miss, sorry. They played Ole Miss, who's actually a pretty good team, and they lost to Ole Miss by like 5. And now they're dealing with the not dealing with now, just like every other team, they're having to go through an off season to where the starting point guard now, Elliot Cadeau, was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school. Pretty good point guard, really good point guard. He's leaving. Um, he just entered the transfer portal. Their former starting center, as of a year ago, he didn't start too many games this year. Jalen Washington, he's transferring. And because it's North Carolina, there's a ton of transfers from other schools. Top transfers. who have put North Carolina on their list of where they're going. So they also got the number 4 kid in the country coming over, and 2 other 4 stars who are really great in the recruiting classes from this year will joining the team next year, with a ton of dudes who are like super good. So I think they just have to find like the fits for their team, and obviously the guys leaving didn't feel like they fit the team anymore. So, but they are out. They are out. So I'm gonna have to find a team to cheer for. We're in the Sweet 16 part of the tournament. I know Arizona faces Duke with the former UNC guard Caleb Love playing for Arizona. Um, Hopefully they beat Duke because I'm a North Carolina fan. So there's no way I want to see Duke go any further than the Sweet 16 right now. But they do have the best player in the country, I think, in Cooper Flag playing for them right now. So we'll see. He's back from injury. He played their last game, so it'll be interesting. So March Madness is always great to watch. We just saw St. John's win at a buzzer beater, which is also controversial because replay shows after the game can't do anything about it now, but he traveled on the play. So sucks for the team that lost to him. But that's March Madness.
Single elimination. That's
Single elimination.
Crazy. Anything can happen in one game. Those
the
best
greatest
of sevens,
tournament ever. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Greatest tournament ever. You got to be your best every day.
So I get like it. The crazy stuff happens. It's super exciting. Anything can happen in March Madness. It's just so much for me. It's like, yeah, but yeah. Hopefully, all your bets cash in on the tournament. Your brackets aren't busted. Any other shout outs?
Man, hey, shout out to Seth, man. I see he got a attack from Josh, who's also was a guest and a very good friend of the show. A1 to Tao. So fire, man. He did good work. Great for Seth. Looks great on your arm, Seth. Yeah, man. Love to see that. Shout out to both of those guys. You might have to get Josh to come back on the show. Talk to Josh Firoy. If you guys are looking for man, he can do it all. Tattooing. So if you're looking whatever kind of art you're looking to get done on your arm, Josh is an amazing artist. So look him up, A1 Tatao, A1 _ Tatao on IG. Shoot my guy a line. I think where is he gonna be next? He's in Sacramento still, I think right now. But I think he's coming back to Vancouver in a little bit, Vancouver, Washington. And then he does a lot of traveling. So I know he just put on his Instagram that he canceled his Hawaii trip in like September. So he might be traveling somewhere else, or he might be in Vancouver. So there should be some openings if you guys are looking to get some work done. Yeah, tap in with my guy.
Any others?
Oh, and to Mike Fiso and his little sister Katie, who's still in the tournament, who plays for the University of Oregon. They're still in the tournament, the women's tournament. Good to see. All the Polynesian players who are still in the tournament. Tahina Balbao playing for South Carolina. Man, she's so good. Also, little known fact, Caitlin Boswell, folks, is still playing basketball in college. If you guys don't know who Caitlin Boswell is, he's a Fokasi kid from I think he's from Arizona. Played for the University of Arizona last year. 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He transferred over to Illinois. He's at Illinois right now, starting point guard there. So shout out to those guys still playing in the league, man, or in the tournament at the moment. He's still alive. Exciting times, man. Oh, and shout out to everybody getting ready for Fautasi. See, it is Fautasi season. You know, if you're from American Samoa or the country of Samoa, Fautasis are our longboats. Exciting, man. It's like the March Madness for us during our Flag Day back home. It's one race, bro. These guys
one race to determine it all.
These guys start training in February for a race that's going to happen in is it May? When is Flag Day?
You saying that's not enough time?
No, that
doesn't sound like enough time.
I mean, but the training that they go through for the race, sheesh. Like, man. Whew, one race though. Faviai has a boat now the village of Pawaiai. They have a boat, so this will be their first race. Leonis Taimao, they're back. They didn't race last year, so they're back in the fold. Um, Alau, who doesn't have their boat physically yet, they now have a boat. They're building their boat, so the race itself is getting bigger. Um, man, just watching them train, I see all the videos. These guys on the water looks looks amazing, man. Shout out to everybody right now training for that, and all you villagers that are getting ready to cheer them on. Please don't be invited this year if your team loses.
Chill out.
Please,
No.
please.
Everyone's like, we did 3-a-days for 3 months for this.
Right, right. So
We're supposed to win.
everybody chill out. Everybody chill out.
Just file it under pride. It's warranted. You're like, oh yeah, we did.
Amen. Amen. It's a cultural trait that sometimes it isn't very great for us.
Damn.
Man, shout out to you, man. You know, you're looking good over there. Shout out to Seth too, man. I see pictures and like not like Seth was like he didn't look bad, but he's looking good. He's looking, you know, like the wellness challenge was like he looked like he won the wellness challenge, honestly, while I was looking at the pictures. So yeah, man.
Strong guys. Yeah, hopefully we can get like I'm trying to get like a consistent workout plan. I need to like write it down like every day, do like a certain stuff. I went golfing with Noah, walked at 18. That was crazy. He was talking about a workout plan that he was chopping it up with you with. Like, there's like somebody that it's like every day it's a certain like number of exercises to do. How is that? Is that easy, consistent, or like every once in a while?
I don't have the motivation to be like as consistent as I used to be. Like I used to love to work out. Like I used to just like if I got up in the morning, it was the first thing I had to do before I did anything. Now it's a little bit of a struggle to like I always make excuses to like find the time to do it. But I usually get it done. It helps a lot that my sister and my brother that I live with right now, my brother-in-law, they have a gym in their garage. So that helps a lot because I don't really have an excuse to like, nah, I don't want to drive to the gym. No, it's just like, nah, right. So just getting back into like the I guess the routine of things is what's what I got to battle right now. And then you know when you don't work out for a long time, like it used to be cool. Like you could like touch your toes. Not that I can't touch my toes, but but you know you got to like now I really got to work on stretching because after lifting, my body hurts. And if I walk like around the block, which is probably like a mile, then I'm like, what did I just walk like to American Samoa? Why am I hurt so bad? I only walked like a mile. So just those things, and you know, you just got to tell yourself that once you get consistent at it, a lot of the beginning pains will go away, and it'll be all worth it. We got to be healthy, man. You got to be healthy for Nora and Sammy. You know, I got to be healthy for my parents and everybody else who around me. So it's a good thing.
Retire at 40.
Amen.
Retire at 45.
Yeah, because I can't retire
by
at 30.
52.
I'm just trying to retire.
I'm thinking realistically. Yeah. Get out of debt. Start your savings young, guys. Invest in ETFs.
Don't play with your credit. Don't play with your credit.
Yeah. Come on. All right, that's our show for this week. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Again, as always, shout out also to Levasa Island Apparel.
Right.
To the O's. Man, yo, it gets hot in the valley. This is not a joke.
No, it's California too.
Yeah, to everybody listening, appreciate you guys for staying with us. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Man.
You said go Raiders. Say it.
That's not.
That's what you were gonna say.
No, not at all. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay balling. Love and light. Peace.